Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be showing one of my latest CD pickups. I ordered this CD off of Amazon. It just came into the mail today, so you guys are gonna get two videos in one day. You're gonna get this video, and later on today you're gonna get my playlist video. So two videos in one day. That's I hope you guys are excited for this, but on to this video. This video I'm not opening, I already opened it. A CD that I ordered off of Amazon. It was released in 1993. It's one of my favorite albums by this band. It's probably my third favorite album by them. Maybe second, but that's tough to decide. But I will show you it right now. It is Quiet Riot's Terrified. Now, some of you, probably a lot of you out there, probably don't know this album. And I understand that because mostly the diehards know this album. Like me and Frankie on Karabi Crew J. But anyways, this is Quiet Riot's 1993 album. So I'll tell you what led up to this album. After Quiet Riot fired Kevin DuBrow in 1987, they got Paul Shortino from Rough Cut, and they released an album in 1988 called QR. I showed the CD last week, so check out my playlist video from last week. And they released that album in 88 and 89. They did a small tour. They played about 10 shows, and none of them were in the United States. They're all in South America and Japan. And I read online, in an interview online, that Paul Shortino said that they were going to do about 40 or 50 day tour in America, playing in clubs and in small theaters. But what happened was Frankie thought they weren't going to make enough money, so he went off to play with Wasp on the Headless Children tour. And that's understandable because at the time his mother had cancer. Frankie Benally's mother had cancer, so he wanted to try and make as much money as he can to save her life. And he went to play with Wasp and other bands like Faster Pussycat and stuff. And Quiet Riot disbanded. So Quiet Riot was no longer around. 1990, they were no longer in existence. But then in 1991, Kevin DuBrow and Carlos Cavazo, they got back together and formed a band called Heat. And it was Kevin DuBrow on vocals, Carlos Cavazo on lead guitar, Kenny Hillary on bass, rest in peace, and also Kevin DuBrow, rest in peace. And on drums, it wasn't Frankie Benally, it was Pat Ashby. And they were going around calling themselves Heat, and they were going to release an album called Quiet Riot and Heat. But they decided to reform the band back into Quiet Riot. And after 1991, I don't know what happened. Pat Ashby either left the band or got fired. One of the two things happened, and they got in 1992. Quiet Riot got Bobby Rondell from Rainbow on drums, and he played for them in 1992. But then he left himself, I think. In 1993, Kevin DuBrow called up Frankie Benally, and Frankie Benally rejoined Quiet Riot. I know all this information due to the VH1 documentary. But anyways, they recorded this album. It was their comeback album to show the fans that they were still around. And just a side note here, this is not like the 80s Quiet Riot. It's not like, catchy choruses, poppiness and stuff. No pop metal here. This is stripped down hard rock right here. And this album is really awesome. You guys should really check this out. There's the CD. Awesome looking CD. And here's the lineup. So we have Kevin DuBrow on vocals, Carlos Cavazo on lead guitar, Frankie Benally on drums, and Kenny Hillary on bass. And this album, it didn't chart on the US charts, sadly. It didn't chart anywhere in the world because it was such an underground album, because by 93 grunge had kicked in, and everybody thought Quiet Riot was still a hair metal party band, so nobody really cared. And this album didn't really get that much promotion, so it didn't do that good, which is a shame because I think this album should have at least charted in the top 100. This album is amazing. Here's the inside booklet. Released on Moonstone Records in America, but it was released on different records and different record labels in other countries. Now, I did research on this album, and I found out that some of the songs on this album were in some B-rated horror movie in the 90s called Dollman vs. the Demonic Toys. I have never seen the movie, and I probably will never see it because I'm not really a big fan of horror movies. In my opinion, I'm sorry about that if you guys are getting mad. But anyways, back to the CD. Some of the songs on here apparently were in the movie. But yeah, I love this album. Cold Day in Hell has a great 90s groove to it. Loaded Gun is okay. It's alright. Ichiku Park, it's a cover, and I haven't heard the original cover before. I forget who originally did this, but yeah, I read online it's a cover, and I like it. It's all acoustic-y, but I like it. And, in fact, Ichiku Park was the last single Quiet Riot ever released to the public, because, of course, Mental Health had Come On Feel the Noise and Bang Your Head as singles. Condition Critical had Mama We're All Crazy Now, Party All Night, Bad Boy, and Winners Take All. QR3 had The Wild and the Young, and the QR album had Stay With Me Tonight. Well, this one, this is the last album to have that Quiet Riot release a single to the public, and it was Ichiku Park. But the only way you can get it as a CD single, they only released it in Germany, and there are some people selling it on Discogs and eBay selling the CD, but they're kind of expensive and stuff, so I don't think I'll get that anytime soon. But yeah, that was the last single that they ever released to the public, like, you know, where you can go into a record store and buy it, because yeah, they did release other singles on the next couple albums, but they're only available to CD studios and stuff for promotion and stuff. And they actually did release 2 singles. This Ichiku Park was released to the public, and the next one I'll tell you when we get to that song. So let's move on. Terrified, it's another great one. I love this one on here. There's an interview from this era from 1993. So there's this YouTube channel called Quiet Riot Vault, and that place is just awesome. That guy, I don't know his name, but all he does is post rare Quiet Riot footage from and all years, Randy Rhoads years, 80 Mental Health years, even the 90s years, and up to now. He posts all kind of footage, and recently he's been posting stuff from the early 90s. So if you guys are interested to see what some interviews and stuff that happened during this era, check out his channel. And Kevin Dubrow in that interview described Terrified as he wanted to go for a Black Sabbath and Van Halen, Black Sabbath meets Van Halen song, and I can hear the Black Sabbath and Van Halen references in there. So, well, not references, but sound, and it's a great song. Rude Boy is another great one. Starts off acoustic-y and then gets heavy, and it's another great one. It's probably my second favorite track on here. My third favorite being Terrified. What's my favorite song? Well, we're coming up to it, so let's find out. Dirty Lover is catchy, but kind of filler a little bit. Psycho City is another good one. It's not my favorite, but it's another good one. I like how during the chorus, Carlos Cavazo makes that funny sound with his guitar and stuff. I'm not going to mimic the sound because I'll sound like an idiot, so just listen to the song and you'll hear it. Rude Crude Moon. Now, that's my favorite song on the album. Yeah, it might have some of the worst lyrics Kevin Dubrow has ever wrote, like the most simplest lyrics, but I love the lyrics, and they're really good. And the song is heavy. And if you're wondering what it's about, it's basically you're having a bad day at work, and when 5 o'clock rolls around, you want to kill somebody. That's what it's basically about. Even Kevin DuBrow said it as well in that interview I was talking about. The next song, "Little Angel," is another one. Not one of my favorites, but it's okay. But I was saying that this album had two singles. One was released to the public, which was Ichiku Park, and there was another one. This is the one, "Little Angel," but it was only released as a promo single to radio stations and stuff. So there are people selling it online. I think there's one person selling it on Discogs, but I'm not gonna bother to buy it because I'm not really a big fan of the song. And the last song here, "Resurrection." This is kind of like Battle Axe Part 2, Battle Axe from the instrumental from Metal Health. This is like Part 2 with Carlos and Frankie going off, and it's a good instrumental. Not as memorable as Battle Axe, but it's still good. So yeah, this album, it's awesome. You guys should really check it out. If you're not a big fan of the Quiet Riot from the 80s, you'll love this one, because I love all eras of Quiet Riot. Well, that's not true. I'm not a big fan of the new Quiet Riot. I'm not a big fan of the Randy Rhoads Quiet Riot. I think they got their sound at the start of Metal Health, but this one, from Metal Health all the way up to, like, I don't know, till maybe Alive and Well. Metal Health through Alive and Well, or heck, even Guilty Pleasures was good. But all through those albums and stuff from the 80s to the early 2000s, all the Kevin stuff is killer, and you should check this album out, guys. So yeah, just type in Quiet Riot Terrified album. You can listen to it through the whole thing. It's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Playlist video will be coming out soon later today. Hope you all doing good and safe. And I will see you guys later. Peace.